جی بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. تو یہ اس طرح سے ہمارا پارٹ 1 کانسٹیٹیوشن کا جو کہ انٹروڈکٹری نیچر کا تھا وہ کمپلیٹ ہوا، جس میں ہم نے پری ایمبل کو ڈسکس کیا، پاکستان کی ٹیریٹریز کو دیکھا، اس میں پھر ہم نے بیسک پرنسپلس کو دیکھا، ہائی ٹریزن کو دیکھا، رائٹ آف انڈیویجولس ٹو بی ڈیلٹ ود ان اکارڈنس ود لا کو دیکھا، ایکسپلائٹیشن کی ایلیمینیشن کی بات ہوئی، اور اسلام ٹو بی دی اسٹیٹ ریلیجن کی بات ہوئی. اب ہم آ رہے ہیں جی پارٹ 2 پہ. پارٹ 2 ہمارا ہے فنڈامنٹل رائٹس اینڈ پرنسپلز آف پالیسی کے متعلق. اس میں ہم ان لینتھ ڈسکس کریں گے ان فنڈامنٹل رائٹس کو جو کہ گارنٹی کی گئے ہیں بائی مینز آف کانسٹیٹیوشن. اور اس میں ہم سٹارٹ کرتے ہیں آرٹیکل 7 سے، ڈیفینیشن آف دی اسٹیٹ. سو لیٹس ٹاک اباؤٹ دیٹ. واٹ از دی اسٹیٹ آف پاکستان؟ واٹ از اٹس ڈیفینیشن؟ What makes it a state? What is included in the state of Pakistan and what is excluded from the state of Pakistan? So it is stating that in this part, unless the context otherwise requires, the state means the federal government. Number one, the federal government is the state of Pakistan. Number two, Majlis-e-Shura, parliament is the state of Pakistan. A provincial government, the government of Punjab, government of Sindh, government of Balochistan or government of KPK is Pakistan, is the state of Pakistan. A provincial assembly is Pakistan, and such local or other authorities in Pakistan as are by law empowered to impose any tax or cess. And apart from that, apart from the federal government, the Majlis-e-Shura, the provincial governments, the provincial assemblies, any other body, any other institution on your local level, on district level, tehsil level, or any municipal committee, corporation, which is or any other department which is authorized to impose any tax or cess on the individuals, on the subjects of Pakistan, is also coming under the definition of state of Pakistan. So this is the state of Pakistan. After that, in this chapter 2, the chapter 1 is related to fundamental rights. And the first fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution of Pakistan is that laws inconsistent with or in derogation of fundamental rights to be void. So basically this is the basic principle of policy. This is not a fundamental right. It is stating that any law which is inconsistent with the will, with the logic and reasoning of the Constitution, which is already in force in Pakistan, and if it is found inconsistent, or if any part of this law is found inconsistent with the theme, with the logic of this Constitution of Pakistan 1973, that whole law or any part thereof shall be considered as null and void and unenforceable in Pakistan. تو کوئی بھی ایسا قانون جو کہ کوئی ایسا کسٹم، کوئی ایسا یوزیج which is carrying the force of law, جو کہ اس کانسٹیٹیوشن آف پاکستان سے انکنسسٹنٹ ہے، متصادم ہے، کانٹراڈکٹری ہے، that is losing its binding force in Pakistan. Number 2, the state shall not make any law which takes away or abridges the rights so conferred, and any law made in contravention of this clause shall to the extent of such contravention be void. First we talked about those laws which were already prevailing in Pakistan and they found inconsistent with the Constitution of Pakistan 1973. Now it is constraining the state of Pakistan, and it is drawing a boundary for state of Pakistan that they cannot make any law in future which is completely wholly or any part of it is inconsistent, contradictory to the Pakistan. The state of Pakistan shall avoid making any law which is not in corroboration with the true sense of the Constitution of Pakistan. Subclause 3, the provisions of this article shall not apply to. So this is the basic principle, that any law which is inconsistent with the Constitution of Pakistan is null and void. But there are particular exceptions to this general rule. For example, number 1, any law relating to members of the armed forces or any agencies which are responsible for maintaining law and order in Pakistan, for example, police or FC or the armed forces, the Navy, the Air Force and the military. This provision, the aforementioned provisions of this article shall not apply to the laws which would be made for these law enforcement agencies. And subsection B of this article 3 is that any laws which are specified in first schedule of this constitution, they have also got exception from this general rule in those cases in particular circumstances and for emergent conditions. Certain laws can be made which are inconsistent with this constitution, and those things have been particularly mentioned and described in first schedule of this constitution. After that, you will have an eye-bird view of subsection 4 and its exceptions, and I'm going to move to article 9, which is related to security of person. It is stating that no person shall be deprived of life or liberty save in accordance with law. Right to have life and right to have liberty, right to move freely as a free citizen in a free state is the right of every individual of Pakistan, every citizen of Pakistan, regardless of the difference of caste, creed, color, sect or religion. So this has been guaranteed by the Constitution of Pakistan that no person shall be deprived from his right to have life and right to have liberty except so far as it is demanded by the law, and any act or omission of that citizen of Pakistan is demanding the intervention of the law, any penal law, and by means of which he is being subjected to any punishment which is involving his infringement or his subjugation of his right to life. For example, if a citizen of Pakistan murders another person, another citizen of Pakistan, then the law shall take the lead and it will be enforced, and the person shall be if he is found guilty, he shall be subjected to law and he shall be brought to justice, and whatever come in that way, whatever the punishment has been provided by the Pakistan Penal Code, he can be hanged as well. So apart from that, the guarantee is related to all those matters which are not provided by the prevailing law of Pakistan. So no person can be deprived from his right to have life or liberty outside the boundary of law provided in promulgated in Pakistan. After that, let's move to Article 10, safeguards as to arrest and detention. In it, subsection 1, no person who is arrested shall be detained in custody without being informed as soon as may be of the grounds for such arrest, nor shall he be denied the right to consult and be defended by a legal practitioner of his choice. Police or law enforcement agencies, if they are arresting any individual, any citizen of Pakistan, upon his arrest, as soon as possible, without wasting even a single minute of time, he shall be intimidated and informed the reasons for his arrest, that why he is being arrested, what is the reason behind it, and he or she also got the right to represent and to defend himself or herself by means of the attorney, the advocate, the legal practitioner of his or her choice. یہ اس کو رائٹ جو ہے وہ دیا جائے گا کہ وہ اپنی مرضی کا وکیل کر کے اپنے آپ کو ڈیفینڈ کر سکے. Subsection 2, every person who is arrested and detained in custody shall be produced before a magistrate within a period of 24 hours of such arrest, excluding the time necessary for the journey from the place of arrest to the court of the nearest magistrate, and no such person shall be detained in custody beyond the said period without the authority of a magistrate. If a person is arrested, this is the obligation of law enforcement agencies that that person should be produced in court in front of a judicial magistrate within 24 hours after his arrest, excluding the necessary time for his transportation. And secondly, that person cannot be detained more than the prescribed time without the approval of the judicial magistrate. This is the responsibility and obligation of the law enforcement agencies. Subsection 3, nothing in clause 1 and 2 shall apply to any person who is arrested or detained under any law providing for prevention detention. If any person has arrested under any law relating to preventive detention, then these subsection 1 and 2 of article 10 shall not apply in that case. Preventive detention can be made under particular laws if there is apprehension to the reasonable apprehension to the law enforcement agencies that there is a reasonable risk of terrorism or of occurrence of any crime in any locality, community, any city, or there is an apprehension that any procession, any act, any omission can be made which would put the integrity, security, sovereignty of Pakistan under threat or under danger, then the law enforcement agencies can detain under its apprehension can detain particular persons for a specific time period, and in that case they would not be supposed to produce such persons in a court of law within 24 hours as we discussed earlier. Instead of that, they can be kept under preventive detention for a maximum period of 3 months, and if they want to keep them for more than that period, then there is a certain period mechanism provided in the same article. There would be a review board who would review the facts of the case and would grant the extension or deny the extension in his or her detention. You would look into this, the subsection 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The most important things in this were subsection 1, 2, 3 and 4, which we discussed already. After that, we are moving to article 10A, right to fair trial. For the determination of his civil rights and obligations or in any criminal charge against him, a person shall be entitled to a fair trial and due process. If there is any accusation of criminal nature or of any civil wrong, this is the right of every person against whom any accusation or against whom any complaint has been made, that he should have a right to fair trial. He should have right to represent himself by means of an advocate of his own choice, and the process of trial should be fair. The judge shouldn't carry any undue influence, any pressure, any coercion in deciding his case. The procedure of trial should be fair enough, and it shouldn't carry any partiality towards any party of the judge or of the whole system. The witnesses, the examination of witnesses should be fair, and fair right should be granted to the adverse parties to cross-examine or examine the witnesses in due course of time. So I think that's it for today. Thank you very much.